everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books, but I love it. Today I've got an audiobook for you. This one is The Lying Room by Nicki French. Nicki French is actually a husband and wife team whose names escape me off the top of my head. The tagline on the book is, "She says she didn't do it, so why hide the truth?" And it is read by Olivia Poulet, who I remember as soon as I started listening to it, I was just like, I recognise that voice. Why do I recognise her voice? And then I realised that I know her from almost everything. British actress, and she's done so many things. In The Bill, she played Camilla Parker Bowles in Whatever Love Means, she was in The Loop, she was Carol Thatcher in Margaret, she was in Sherlock, The Thick of It, Reggie Perry in Outnumbered. She has pretty much done everything. Oh, she was also played Abigail Tate in Holby City, which is probably where I most recognised her from, because that was a point when I was addicted to Holby City, and then I kind of fell out of it about 6 months before it ended, and I never watched how it ended, so I'll read that blurb for you. I know not everybody loves blurbs, but I've got my twist on it, and then I will tell you how I felt listening to this story. Okay. She doesn't call the police. You know, it's funny. Detective Inspector Hitchens said, "Whoever I see, they keep saying, talk to Niamh Connolly. She'll know. She's the one people talk to. She's the one people confide in. A trusted colleague and friend, a mother, a wife, Niamh Connolly is all these things. She has also made some mistakes. Some small, some unconsciously done, some large, some deliberate. She's only human, after all. But now one mistake is spiralling out of control, and Niamh is bringing those around her into immense danger. She can't tell the truth, so how far is she prepared to go to protect those she loves? And who does she really know? And who can she trust? A liar, a cheat, a threat. Niamh Connolly is all these things. Could she be a murderer?" So its duration is 8 hours and 15 minutes, so it's not the longest one I've done. Yeah, I think I listened to this over about a week, listening to it on my lunch breaks and on my walks, and it's in crime and thriller. I'd say obviously like detective route, because there's a detective in there, and yeah, murder mystery, that kind of thing, which we all know is one of my favourite things to read, a bit of a murder mystery. So at the beginning of the book, you see Niamh turn up to a flat where she sees a dead body on the ground, and straight away she goes into clean-up mode. And you're wondering, what is going on here? And then throughout the story you get the full information that she was actually having an affair with the guy who was dead, and that's basically what she's trying to erase, not get involved in with the police, the fact that she was having an affair with this man. And so she tries to erase her entire existence from this flat. So she goes into like pulling on gloves and tidying up and getting rid of anything that provides evidence that she was there, while also trying not to exactly tidy up the crime scene, because she still wants them to investigate that. She just doesn't want to be implemented in it. So throughout the book she is hiding the fact that she was having an affair with a colleague. There's a point when she realises she may have left something at the flat, and she goes back and she realises that somebody else has been there since she cleaned up, because she's aware that whatever she left in the flat is not there, and also the murder weapon has disappeared, because it looks like he was blunt force trauma, basically. Looks like he was hit in the head with a hammer, and there was a hammer there when she first saw the body. And when she goes back to find the item that she thought she left there, that she lost there, she realises that the hammer is gone, and that it's not quite how she left it when she left the flat. So it's all done from her point of view, and you see her relationship with her kids and her husband and her friends. And then the detective comes in, and yeah, it isn't quite the point of view that I thought I was getting when the blurb looks at kind of the detective being told to talk to Niamh, when it's actually all done from Niamh's point of view. The detective does tell Niamh that he has been pointed in her direction quite a few times to talk to, just because everybody talks to her. But with it being done from Niamh's point of view, I feel like the blurb is slightly misleading, because it makes you think you're getting more of the detective's point of view when you don't. So yeah, a little bit of a red herring just in the blurb there, on changing the who you think it's kind of narrated by. But yeah, it's all done from Niamh's point of view, and this was so good to listen to. I was just there like, I must admit, there was a point towards the end when I had to rewind it a few times because I thought I'd missed something, and it was just the way that Neve was working things out kind of just jumped a little bit, and so I was just there going, oh, where's this going now? Because there was a point when you're kind of almost with her, and then there comes a point when she's ahead of you, and so you don't know what she's actually up to as she starts to figure out like who could possibly be framing her. Because as the story goes on, you realise that there is somebody out there who it looks like they're trying to point towards Neve as the killer. And to be honest, because it's done from her point of view, you do get that kind of unreliable narrator thing, because you don't know how much you can trust of what Neve is saying. And at the very end of the book, it does give you kind of like that flashback moment, kind of like the moment that kind of instigated the whole thing. And it was just like, oh, it puts a slight other question mark over everything as to like how it all started. It goes back further than you think, because it's work related at first, because obviously it's somebody at the office that she's having an affair with. You find out about other people that had an affair, and you just start with this guy, and you're just there thinking, oh, is this like somebody else that slept with him? Is this something to do with her husband, because their relationship is on the rocks slightly? And yeah, you go through this full thing. There was a point when I was suspecting everybody, I think, and there comes a point when her daughter becomes a bit of a target as well. Daughter is kind of like that grumpy teenager getting ready to go to university, but also at the same time doesn't really know she wants to go to university, and so Neve is trying to create a better relationship with her daughter, but they're brought together by the events that are happening. And it's just so much happens, and it's one of those ones where you feel like you're jogging to keep up with the pace as it gets through, because it starts to get quicker and quicker and quicker, and you see Neve kind of being like almost like pulled down by the current with everything that's happening around her. And oh god, I do like Nicki French. In this section of the wardrobe, I've got a series basically, because I read, was it Blue Monday, the Frida Klein series? I read that ages ago and was just like, and then I kept seeing Jen Campbell on YouTube, who's just had a baby, by the way, so congratulations, Jen. I've no idea what I did with that book, but then I found the rest of the series for like 20 quid online, so it's just like, I'm just going to have to get the rest of them. But yeah, so it's like, you've got Blue Monday, and then you've got Tuesday's Gone, Waiting for Wednesday, Thursday's Child. You go through all the series up to Sunday, and then there's another one after Sunday as well. But yeah, after seeing Jane Campbell talking about Nicki French so much, it was just there going, I feel like I need to go on a bit of a Nicki French kick. And so I've done a couple. I've got The Favour by Nicki French available for me to read, so I'm not far off reading that. I just really enjoyed where it went, and the fact that you've got this narrator who you can't entirely trust. I do love a good unreliable narrator, because it just keeps you on your toes. And yeah, so just the fact that you are with her and suspecting everybody around her, because there's points when she can't trust her husband, and you're just like, oh, is he involved in this somehow? And you're aware of other affairs that are happening, like with the boss and everything, and just like, is somebody else sleeping with him, and that somebody else wants to get with it. And then you've got all the university friends and all the kids and stuff, and it was just like, I think I suspected most characters in this book at one point or another. And because I read books where you can't actually trust the police either, I was points when it was just like, am I completely going down the wrong path if I suspect the detective as well? I just really, really enjoyed it. I just love good detective murder mystery, because it just gets your brain thinking and worrying, and I like stuff that makes me think. Is that weird? I know some people just like to just turn off, but yeah, it was just that point towards the end when the character was trying to kind of pick up the pieces, and I felt like I was out of the loop, which is why I had to go back and listen again to certain bits, and it was just like, no, I haven't missed anything. This is the character jumping ahead, so now the reader is completely in the blind about it. So now the reader is completely out of it, as the main character helps to kind of tie up everything. It was so good. It was so good. So yeah, let's bring up that front cover. Nicki French, The Lying Room. She says she didn't do it, so why hide the truth? The fact that she just continues to dig her own grave almost in the things that she hides. And it's just like, because she is trying to erase herself from this flat, it means that there are some things that she does have to lie about, even though she doesn't want to. But at the same time, she's just like, but I don't want to draw attention to the fact that I had an affair with this man, because that will implode my life completely. And so when she finds out about other people sleeping with Saul, the co-worker boss person, she's just like, oh, maybe I can use them as a bit of a scapegoat. And you're just there going, you are treading there, Neve. You like her, but you don't, because you know she's covered stuff up and you know she's lying, but at the same time she's not trying to interfere with the investigation, but in a way she kind of has to, because of otherwise it goes back on her. Like, if she'd just been honest straight away, maybe she could have saved something, especially when as things come out about her husband throughout the book, and you're just like, yeah, at this point, if she'd just been upfront in the beginning, she might have been able to sort something out with her husband regarding her affair. But because of how people find out about it, it just paints her in a worse light. And so you're just there going, how are you going to get out of this? So I feel like The Lying Room, the title, mainly pertains to the crime scene, the flat, and all the hiding and lies that are related to the death of Saul in that flat, because it all comes back to the flat. Yeah, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it does all come back to the flat, and in a way it kind of all comes back to Neve. Have I said too much? But yeah, Nicki French, The Lying Room. If you like a good murder mystery, I highly recommend this. If you like your unreliable narrators, go for it. And Olivia Poulet is just such a great narrator. I will admit though, there was a point, it was only for two characters in particular, it was where the voice seemed to merge a little bit, and so there were points when I wasn't completely sure who was speaking, but I think it's because the voice between Neve and the daughter could be fairly close at times, so I really did have to pay attention as to who was talking. So it is something that you do sometimes have to slightly deal with when you're listening to an audiobook, the fact that, you know, especially when it's only one person doing it, the fact that it's one person doing all the voices. Considering everybody that I suspected, I didn't actually suspect the person who did actually do it, so very cleverly written in the fact that you don't realise what's happening and who actually is involved until you've actually suspected everybody else. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Hello to the new subscribers. That has been very nice to see that number go up recently. But yeah, so I will see you on Sunday. I've lost track. This is not a sequel. This is not Sunday. This is Wednesday. Yeah, I will see you on Sunday for another video. Stay safe, everybody. Love you all. Bye.